Did you know that Dublin transformed into a sea of green just for St. Patrick's Day? What does this vibrant celebration reveal about our global connections and shared cultures? Stay tuned. Join the festivities and discover the hidden stories behind this iconic event. As Dublin transformed into a vibrant sea of green for St. Patrick's Day, the festivities served as a backdrop for a deeper examination of the socio-political landscape in Ireland. This annual celebration, which attracted an estimated 500,000 attendees, both local and international, was not merely a display of cultural pride but also a reflection of the ongoing tensions between elite narratives and the experiences of marginalized communities. The parade, featuring over 4,000 participants, including marching bands and performers, wound its way through the heart of the city, symbolizing a collective identity that is often overshadowed by systemic inequalities. Yet, as the President of Ireland, Michael D. Higgins, presided over the event, one must question whose adventures are truly being celebrated in this narrative of inclusivity. The theme of this year's parade, Each Try, meaning adventures, aimed to encapsulate the spirit of community and diversity. However, this idealistic portrayal starkly contrasts with the lived realities of many marginalized groups, particularly the Irish traveler and Roma communities. While the parade showcased a special pageant commemorating 40 years of the NGO Pavy Point, which advocates for these communities, it raises the question, are these gestures of inclusion sufficient to address the systemic issues they face? As noted by social activist and scholar Dr. Mary O'Sullivan, celebrating diversity is meaningless without addressing the underlying inequalities that persist in our society. This sentiment echoes the historical struggles of marginalized groups, reminiscent of the civil rights movements of the 20th century, where visibility did not equate to equity. The festivities, while joyous, also highlight a paradox. The elite narratives surrounding St. Patrick's Day often overshadow the voices of those who are most affected by socio-economic disparities. For instance, while the government touts the parade as a celebration of Irish culture and unity, the reality is that many local residents, particularly in economically disadvantaged areas, feel excluded from the benefits of such tourism-driven events. This pattern recalls the historical neglect of working-class neighborhoods during major city events, where the focus remains on spectacle rather than substantive change. Furthermore, the logistical operations required to manage the influx of visitors often prioritize commercial interests over community needs, leading to a disconnection between the celebration and the everyday struggles of Dublin's marginalized populations. As the night wore on and the celebrations continued, one could not help but ponder the future implications of such events. Will the narrative of inclusivity evolve into actionable policies that uplift marginalized communities, or will it remain a superficial facade? The contrast between the official claims of unity and the factual outcomes for those on the fringes of society raises critical questions about the direction of Irish society. Are we merely spectators in a grand performance, or can we become active participants in reshaping the narrative? As we reflect on this year's St. Patrick's Day, it is imperative to consider how we can transform these celebrations into catalysts for genuine social change, ensuring that the adventures we celebrate are inclusive of all voices, particularly those that have been historically silenced. In my view, the exuberance of events like St. Patrick's Day in Dublin, while celebratory, often masks deeper systemic injustices that persist in society. It is striking that amidst the festivities dedicated to diversity and inclusion, marginalized communities like the Irish travelers still face significant societal hurdles and discrimination. By engaging with such spectacles, are we merely opting for a temporary escape rather than confronting the entrenched power structures that silence these voices? As we celebrate, we must ponder, how many more parades will occur before we prioritize genuine equity over mere performance? Subscribit y dale like para mantener informado.